Zillow. This is posted all over the internet. It's not like people are not seeing it. It's not like people are not viewing this information. I think that's false. I think the biggest thing is coming up with a negotiable price, something that's less than this right here. I think that's the biggest problem with this property. Hey everybody, this is Lamont Ellis, the acquisition manager. You see what it is. This is a review on that portfolio property in the last video. So the agent got back to me. He sent us some information. We're going to go over it together. It looks like he got some comps here. Just a lot of good information. So we're going to go through it. And as you can see, because I was viewing this earlier, I was like, you know what? Let me put this on. Let me run the content. So as you can see, it's 140 houses. They're single family, small multifamily, and duplexes and triples and quadplex. So as you can see, this is a portfolio property. If you're not aware, I am currently at the date of this video looking for a portfolio property. My goal is to house hack and then either have tenants live in the other unit, or as you see right here, I want to have a plethora of properties. One of the biggest things when I listen to a lot of people that are in a higher position, as you can see, it's 140 houses. They're single family, small multifamily, and duplexes and triples and quadplex. So as you can see, this is a portfolio property. If you're not aware, I am currently at the date of this video looking for a portfolio property. My goal is to house hack and then either have tenants live in the other unit, or as you see right here, I want to have a plethora of properties. One of the biggest things when I listen to a lot of people that are in a higher position, than me, one of the biggest things that they say is they wish they would have got multiple units, like anywhere from tens or up, because if one tenant drops out, you ain't left with the you ain't stuck with the mortgage. So that was something I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take that tip. I know a lot of house hackers that started small and they don't go past that. They acquire lots of extra properties, but they don't go past a certain amount of numbers. I've met both of them, but me personally, I want to have a large cash flow, so I know I'm taken care of and I can replicate exactly what I'm doing. With this, I'll be using OPM, but let's get right to it. We sitting here talking, we jaw jacking. Let's get to it. So these are all the properties, I guess, that they have for sale. See, that may have been good, but my strategy, the strategy that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to resell the units back to the tenants, similar to like a lease option. I want to sell it to them because it removes a lot of the maintenance for me personally. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's interesting. We come to this one, but I want to look at the properties that they have. They look like they have interesting properties. Let's close this so I can run a little faster. $14 units. Let's click through the pictures. Let's get out the way. Let's see. See, shout out to Mike. He always taught us, to look at it, read this yellow thing, but you can hardly see it. But going through those house walkthroughs are important. You'll start to learn how to view a property, what to look for. Really, just especially if you're trying to own a property, what to look for, what's covered, when you, especially when you buying a commercial property, that's another thing that 8 week boot camp taught us. When we buying a property, see what's insured, see what has a warranty on it. If it says it has a warranty on it, call the place and ask them and see, does that warranty still exist, even if somebody buys it. So that was one of the things that he talked about. Like, a lot of those things I wrote down. We have a pre recording of the video he did. Sorry, the class he did before. So you really, one of the things I learned, and it wasn't that I learned it, but one of the things that I actually learned was, when you buying a property, ask as many questions as possible. The planning department, speak to the police department, speak to as many people as possible, because you're buying an actual property, and this property, you may be, depending on the terms you set, or depending on how you buy it, you may be owning it for a large amount of years. You need to know what the roof look like. You need to know what has been updated, what hasn't been updated. It's a lot that goes into buying a property that a lot of people skip over because they want the property quick. And it's the same way, like if you buy a home to stay in, you want to really look at it. After getting it appraised, get it inspected. You want to do the whole nine. Like this. Let me go wasting time when we come back to that. I don't know how long this video gonna be. Right after this, I got to study for my test. Being an appraiser trainee, it comes with a lot of work, and honestly, I like it because it holds me accountable. Um, One of the biggest things that I guess I would call it a con, you do have to constantly study state statutes, laws, and stuff like that. And sometimes it can get boring, because it's like, okay, studying the same thing over and over. But really, the true factor is really remembering exactly it is. So I think that's the thing that I'm excited for, is really just learning exactly how to do certain things, of how I'm either explaining it or portraying it, because I am a licensed individual at this point. Well, not currently, but I'm saying at this point I would be a licensed individual. And that's one of the things I see with a lot of people that are licensed to a different standards, but at the same time they're looked at differently also. If an individual with license told you this, you're most likely you're going to believe exactly what they said because they're licensed. That one's shitty. This is the portfolio. This is the portfolio of properties. So, when tackling something like this, the first biggest thing is, so yes, these are a lot of properties, so we will have to go through these individually just to see exactly what we're working with, because a lot of the people that I plan on partnering with, they're going to do that. We need to do exactly what they would do. They're going to analyze them and see what's crap or what's valuable, and make a price off of that. So this is going to go into a later video. As you can see, the current rent, so that's important. I'm gonna just do a view of these portfolio properties, and I'm gonna message them back, tell them when I'm currently looking at it, and I'm gonna analyze it, and that's gonna be something we're gonna do together. Um, so let me just look at them. First of all, the other big thing we need to do is see what the market of Shelby looks like. Shoot, because I'm starting to think this man own half a Shelby. You know what I mean? Hey, we got to see what those houses look like, because I'm starting to, hey, 140 properties. This guy own half a Shelby right now. What do you mean? I need to know. And as I stated in the other video, that I seen this portfolio, and this was something that I thought about wanting. So why not look at it? I don't aim small, I aim big. update all of that. We're just doing a quick video of, because is there a house right there? It says it's doing that. So one of the questions I ask myself all the time is, why is this property still sitting here? We need to know, why is it still sitting there? Is it because they don't want to deal with the shenanigans of owning several different properties, a plethora of properties, or or is it the thing of people not wanting to locate all these people to come up with this massive amount of money? We're talking about 140 properties here. 140. So you can either find several people to purchase this property, or you can find one person to purchase the property. But however you do it, you want to do it legally and up board. For me, this is one of the things where I was talking about in the last video. I'm good at locating people. I'm good at finding people. That's why I said my goal, I want to find as many people as possible that can help me in the previous years, in these years, in the previous years. That looks kind of ratty. So the next thing that we're going to do is look at the market, because we need to really get an understanding of the Shelby market. That's trash. That shouldn't even be in the list. That's trash. That's trash. He did tell us it was some beat up houses in here. Nah, I like that. I like that. I can get jiggy with that. I like that. To me, I like that. Let me look at this one real quick. Oh, you only posted one picture. That's a problem. Oh, okay. Continue to go through these. One of the things I will have to do. Hire. I do like this property right here because you can live in one and the other one. But yeah, I like that. I like houses like that. See, as you can see, it just keep going and going and going and going, and that's what I like. Shoot, I need to follow up with that other one about those portfolio properties too. This is interesting. So this is a townhouse, 6 units, some 3 bedrooms, some 1 3s, some 1 bath, 1 3 bedroom. Or is that? I'm not, because I keep saying that. Let's look the Shelby market, because this is crazy. The more and more I look at this, it's like, man, he owned half of Shelby right now, bro. It's like he owned half of. Look, first of all, what is the population? Shelby, Tennessee population 23.5K. So this is one of the things I lean on when I'm looking at stuff like this, because so while that does its magic, we're gonna keep clicking through them. One of the things I was always taught is to get, okay, so we met the end. We at the end. One of the things I was always taught is get as much information as possible. You're going to see what this looks like right now. I'm just going off the top of my head. You working with me. Y'all with me watching. This is me just throwing fire at the I mean not throwing fire, excuse me, throwing water at the fire. We with the firefighters, we putting it out. We on the go. We on the go. So you're going to see me as the next video. I'm gonna start putting it together, doing the research on the market, doing the research on the market cycle in that area, doing the research on is people leaving from the area or going to the area. Where is it close to? You're going to start to see me start deep diving into research. Honestly, this may be a super long video, just because when you're doing due diligence on a property, it should always be long. But when you're doing due diligence on a plethora of properties, that's guaranteed that it's going to be long, because you're doing on multiple properties. But let's do this. Let's finish this out real quick. So as you can see in Shelby, it's approximately 26,135. What did Google say? 23. So ChatGPT was a couple thousand. I don't know which one is correct, so we just gonna go with both of them. We know it's in the 20s. So it gave me a map of what's close. So that's the problem. It's not too far off, but it is. It's a good drive. Let's do some homework. Like, hey everybody, this is Lamont Ellis. So this will be another part to that video we were creating. So I said I had something I wanted to show you guys. So when I look at a property, and that I look at when it's far away from the market, I want to see how close it's. Sorry, when I say the market, I mean the metro market. I want to see how close it is from the metro market. So as you can see, this is Shelby. That's kind of nerve wracking because it is far away from the actual the actual market. Without us even zooming in, you can see how far it is. Um, so we're going to take this. See, as you can see, it looks like it's kind of closer to Hunting or Chattanooga, possibly. But let's do some homework. We need to see, do some homework. So as you can see, it's an hour and 23 minutes from now. So that can be a problem. Nashville. Um, so one of the things I always do is I try to put a little circle when I go back and look at it. And then we're going to do Chattanooga. So about the same. Actually, it's a little farther away. That's crazy. Let's do Hunting. That's Alabama. So it's about the same from Hunting, Tennessee. I mean Hunting, Alabama to Nashville. That can be kind of far. It looks like that may be the largest problem with that. That this is like a very small town, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like he owns the whole town. Um, I hate to say it, but those portfolio properties, that's probably the reason why they're still sitting there. When you look at that price, he wants too much money. Especially there's no market. Actually, let's do this real quick. Let's do this real quick. I'm sitting here bumping my guns when we could do this. So one of the biggest things I love to look at is data. I love looking at data. So we're going to pull this up real quick. Data, as I stated earlier, because it helps you really see the true picture. So I come right here to this site and I look at the market itself. So it's going to tell me a little bit about Shelby's market itself. A lot of investors, they either use certain websites like this, or some of them they may get additional subscriptions of markets that pretty much give them a whole plethora of markets, but at the same time more detailed and more accurate. One of the things that they preach in the real estate space, if you're willing to pay for the data, it may be a lot better and more detailed in the certain things. And sometimes it's just an overview of the actual state of the actual state, and maybe only cover certain popular markets. But let's get right to it. As you can see, so I'm gonna be viewing this with you guys, so you're going to get my honest opinion of whatever about this market itself. It looks like there's not a lot of data. It looked like there's not a lot of data for this actual market. Number of homes sold for. So you can tell this wouldn't be a good market to target, especially yeah, this wouldn't be a good market to target. We would have to get those properties dirt cheap. And most likely that's the reason why it's still sitting there. Judging off of this, like honestly, yeah, there's no need to put any more detailed into this. This is a website that a lot of real estate investors use to look at the market to see what the market is telling us. So as you can see, we can come right here on the side and look, excuse me, look more at it. So they're covering the actual county itself. A lot of homeowners, and you're going to see in this space a lot of homeowners. So look, it says it's a little bit more population, but you're going to see a lot of homeowners. They we call them, we say that they're in la la land because of the actual price that they want. It's like a ridiculous price. So a lot of people be like, oh, he's in la la land, and this may be one of those true occasions. So the median household income is 60,000. All this is telling me, even this, that I would have to get the houses for cheaper than what he's actually wanting. I told you that in the video. A lot of homeowners and brokers and agents, they fluff the numbers up. They fluff it up a little bit because they know people are going to go in and negotiate. And one of those things that's literally what we have to do. I think he wanted don't quote me on that, but I think it was 23 fucking $1 million. Excuse me, $23 million. He wants $23 million to come up with this property. Yeah, acting like I'm acting. Hey, that price is definitely fluffed. Is it worth $23 million? Me personally, I think no. But at the same time, we ain't look at the income. To be fair, we ain't look at the income yet, and that's another video that we're gonna do to look in the income just to see what is it actually generating, and don't think is worth that. But at the same time, we really didn't do the income part, and that's what we're gonna do next. I don't think it's worth this 23 million. To be fair, it's like he owned literally the own. It's like literally he owned the market. He owned Shelby's the metro area. It's like he owned that part. He literally owned the whole town right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like I told you, it's a lot of people that got sitting there. You gotta understand, it's been sitting on the market for a minute. This is posted on commercial property. This is posted on commercial property websites. This is posted on Zillow. This is posted all over the internet. It's not like people are not seeing it. It's not like people are not viewing this information. I think that's false. I think the biggest thing is coming up with a negotiable price, something that's less than this right here. I think that's the biggest problem with this property. The biggest thing is when looking at a property, doing any type of information, it's usually what the seller wants to sell it for and what the buyer wants to buy it for. That's usually the biggest problem. A lot of people want to sell it for a high amount, and a lot of buyers want to buy it. I ain't gonna say for a very low amount, but for a affordable amount, a fair amount. He already told us that a lot of the well, not all of them, excuse me. He told us that a few of the properties needed repairs. That sounds like a discount right there. He told us that there's labeled as A and B and C's. So if we understand that they're labeled in A, B, and C's, we need to get discounted on those properties, and we need to figure out how many of them are A's and how many of them are B's and how many of them are C's. We need to get that information. We need to get people on the ground. But before we do all that, we need to know how serious is he? Is he still stuck on this price, or he felt like, hey, because a lot of like really what it comes down to is how much he bought it for, how much did he make off the property, and how much is he trying to sell it for. You have to understand. So there's three different things: how much you buy it for, how much he's made off of it, and then how much he's going to make off it when he sells it. A lot of people say, and this is in the art of the sale, or yeah, I believe it's the art of the sale. Um, you start to make money. Well, you make money on the buy, not when you sell it. A lot of homeowners and a lot of people, they get that misconstrued. They think that they make money when they sell it, and that's false. A lot of investors will tell you, hey, that's not when you make your money. You make your money when you buy it. When you buy the property, that's when you make your money. And if you're real strategic, you make money three different times. That's a whole nother thing, but you make your money when you buy it. The easiest way that I think about it is, they purchased a property so cheap, or they purchased it affordable enough to where even if he had to resell it, he made his money back. Even if he had to turn around and flip it, he made his money back. There's a lot of people that target houses that literally, they close to being turnkey. The only thing they need is a grass cut. They may need the walls painted, or the floors polished. There's people out there that target properties like that it literally needs literally minimum work, and then they put it back on the market. And how are they able to put it back on the market and sell it? Is because they purchased it at a low price and then resold it at a higher price. So it's technically like flipping something. But I wanted to show you guys, this is what this looked like doing the research. As you can see, we found a lot of hidden gems. We found a lot of problems. We found a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. But we're going to get into the numbers next, just to see what this looks like from a numbers perspective. Is it really worth this $23 million, or is it less than that $23 million? I'm not saying it ain't worth $1 million. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, do you think it's worth the 23 million? And that's where that income is going to come in. That's where that income, to see how much the property is generated over the years, over the lot. We need, as he said, that rent roll. So we need profit and loss statements from 12 months, from another 12 months, and another 12 months. Try to get three profit and loss statements that give us good data that shows how it was performing over the years. If we can get that information, this could be a good dub, especially if you're willing to do seller finance. Really, the biggest thing is to see if we can get an affordable price. I don't want to say affordable, to see if we can get a good price. Like I said, that's usually the biggest thing when negotiating deals and putting stuff together. It's usually the price. People are stuck up on the price. The price, how much the seller wants to sell it for, and how much the buyer wants to buy it for. Those are usually the biggest things, the price. We're going to finish up this video. So as you can see earlier, I had said that we were going to we was going to get to the numbers, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get to the numbers, man. Let's get to the numbers on this property. So remember what I stated earlier, a lot of these numbers are fluffed. A lot of these numbers, they're fluffed. They're not the actual numbers as far as the income. I say that because, so here is the tools that I use. I use a few other tools I can show you in a little bit, but when looking at income, running the numbers, when analyzing a property, for some apparent reason, I do all three. Well, technically all four, because you're about to see, but I do all four. So the first thing I do is take all the raw data, put it in ChatGPT. Put it in ChatGPT, put it in Gemini, put it in the calculator. Yes, we got a calculator. It's a simple calculator. Put it in the calculator, and one of my favorite tools right here, BuyBox. So BuyBox is basically, in simple terms, it's another calculator that you can use. But really, what I'm trying to understand or get to see exactly what I'm saying. All right, so we're working on this property in Shelby, this portfolio property, I should say. So the owner wanted $23 million. Like I said, the biggest problem is it comes down to price, to how much the buyer is willing to buy it for and how much the seller is willing to sell it for. A lot of people are in la la land. This is the biggest issue when being in the real estate space. And sometimes each party doesn't understand how they are looking at it. I say that because I'm aware a lot of people are taught how to analyze properties differently. Perfect example. Investors look at numbers and agents look more at what they can sell it for on the market, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. The thing is, investors are constantly looking at, hey, how much money will this cost me? Will I be able to make this money back? We're looking at this like a business, not just a property to live in. And that's one of the problems with agents. Not all. I love agents. But that's the huge problem. They don't understand how we looking at it. And then the funny thing is, it be other investors that literally they try to get the most for their property. They'll tell you that. They always say, hey, if a dummy want to pay for it, he'll pay for it. So it's about the numbers. Let's get down to it. So I ran all this information through ChatGPT. I ran it a couple more times because it didn't give me exactly what I wanted. So sometimes you got to specify exactly what you're looking for. So as you can see, this is the estimated purchase price that it gave me in simple terms. So it goes by cap rate. So what is the cap rate? We can do another video on cap rate, but the cap rate, I don't want to say it dictates the price, but it basically it tells the investor how much he would make back on the initial sale. The cap rate is how it was explained to me. It was a way for an investor to basically analyze the property. But speaking to other investors, they'd tell you sometimes the cap rate ain't always right. You have investors that count doors. Now, I was able to count doors twice on a property. It's confusing, but it's simple. A lot of these things are confusing but simple. You just have to continue to keep working it. So let's get down to it. So it says the aim cap rate at cash flow. This is how much I should offer them. 5.5, 6.2. And then I put this information in because I knew it needed more information. I wanted to paint a picture. You can read the description. I mean the details right there. So I wanted to paint a picture. Look what it changed it to. So it said 4.9, 5.2. So cool. We going over the numbers. As you can see, seller finance. Like I stated in the last video, the owner wanted to do seller finance. That's cool with us. I wasn't for sure if he mentioned for the entire portfolio, because that could change if not. If he wants to, they call it stacking it, where you take another mortgage and put it on top. That can be way more difficult, but at the same time, it's not impossible. A lot of these things, it's not impossible. You just have to be around the people that are actually doing it, so they can walk you through the process and you can ask questions and engage and all that good stuff. So as you see, that's what it said we could that's what it said we should get the purchase price for, down payment, yada yada yada, all these good terms, right? So this is the second thing I like doing. I like taking this information and running it through another system. You want to do really, like I stated earlier, really what I'm looking for is a broad number, a number that if you continue to keep seeing that consistent number, that may be how much it should cost. Meaning, as far as number wise, remember this is numbers. So when I ran it, it said 4.2. Right here it said 4.9. So what that tells me right there, it needs to be in the 4 millions. We're going to run the numbers and see, does it make sense at 5.2 million. Another thing, hey everybody, so yeah, I took everything from that website and pasted it in the spreadsheet. The next thing I'm going to do is add up by hand how much the current rent is and how much the current taxes is, and then minus it. So this is the job of an investor, acquisition manager, even agents. you are constantly you're doing a bunch of things at once. It's not just one thing. Um, so you're about to see me walk you through this process. A lot of people do not like this process. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going to buy this for myself, but me as a wholesaler, which I should have said that in the beginning, my fault. But as a wholesaler, it could work if we structure the deal correctly. This is something I wouldn't want to live in, just because of how far it is from the city, like the actual metropolitan area, how far it is. I want to be a little closer. Um, 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you pushing it, you tripping now. I want to be close to 30, 20, somewhere around in that ballpark where I'm close enough I can get to the city, do what I need to do, get out. So yeah, it told me the price it needs to be at 4.2. So looking at the down payment, what did they suggest the down payment was? Okay, so down payment that, and then it may be because the numbers are lower than those. But as you can see, looking at this, it said a 5 point and it said a 6% interest rate. We may even, excuse me, we may even negotiate that lower. We may even negotiate the terms lower. Like a lot of these things, you're watching me through the process. As you can see, they gave me a 30-year AM, so you're watching the process. All this information, it may be something different by the time we get to this. Why? Because when you're structuring deals and you really getting into it, the numbers are going to change several different times. The seller may have a better idea than what you have, or you may have a better idea than what the seller has. What I've learned is the first person that tells the price lose. The problem is when targeting properties online, and I know I'm talking a lot, but the problem is when you target properties online, they already put their price out where they at. They can be either super high, super low, or just right. If they just right, they're not gonna last long. They're not gonna last long. If they super high, they gonna obviously they gonna sit there for a long time. If they super low, depending on what the issue is with the property, it may sit there longer. It may not. Excuse me. It just depends on the actual price itself. What are we talking about? So as you can see, this is what it said the monthly income is, and this is why I said it's always good to do it yourself, so you can figure out, so you can figure out exactly what that number is instead of going off of artificial intelligence, because you want to be correct. When you making a move like this, you want to be correct. You know what I mean? Excuse me. You don't want to drop the ball because you being lazy. You don't want to drop the ball. So the math on our phone real quick, because Gemini didn't do it. And like I said, a lot of the stuff you're gonna have to do by hand. You're gonna have to use a calculator. Like you're using several different tools out through this whole process. They have, I want to say, two different methods, but I'm just going off of what I've seen. So everybody may be different, but what I've seen, you have individuals that actively take their time when doing the analyzation on the property. They may be doing the analyzation while they're on the phone. Then you got some individuals where, like one of my mentors, it was like the 10-step process, but the 1, 2, and 3 was only focused on analyzing the property. You see what I'm saying? Like you had to get through 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps before you can actually get the property under contract. Well, before you can actually go forward with the contract, I should say. Because the first step was, okay, get the proof of funds, get the profit and loss, get all the data that you can. The second step, if it looks good or the numbers work or whatever you and the owner renegotiate or whatever, the next step is to get it under contract. After you get it under contract, now it's to be serious. Now you're actually asking the owner for for T12s, you're asking the owner for more profit and loss statements. You're looking at all the data that you can ask for. I've seen people that put, hey, they want to know, they want to see the copy of the property taxes. They want to see this. They want to show proof. Also, like I stated, I don't know if I said it earlier in this video or the other video, but how I was taught, you want to look at, is there any warranties on all these things? The I believe it's called the HVAC, or the air conditioner, all these things, the air conditioner, the washer. You want to see what's under warranty and what's not under warranty. If it is under warranty, you need to figure out, does that warranty, does it transfer over when the owner sells it? It's a lot to go over. It's a lot of data. It's a lot of information. So right now, what you see me doing is quick, the quick data that you can easily do. That's what we're doing right now. But to put an actual offer in, a lot of these things, you doing it on the go. So a lot of these things, you're doing it on the go. I'm trying to show y'all. So I have this right here, and I know this is separate, but I have this right here to help me when I'm analyzing properties on the go as a wholesale offer, not as a not as a actual buy offer, as a wholesale offer. This helps me analyze properties as a wholesale offer. When you're making wholesale offers quickly, you understand wholesalers are talking to at least 500 to 300 people per day, and those are the veterans. Those are the ones that's serious about making some money. The AI told us it should be anywhere from 4 to 4.5 to I think it was like 5 to 5.5. No, sorry, 5.2. So we're going to actually do the homework and handwrite it. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. I might pause this because the video is going to be super long. All that information that we added up and put it in the calculator, we're going to put it in this calculator. Then once we get a total from this calculator, we're going to put it in this calculator, and we want to see, does the numbers make sense? You are looking for, there's a common number. You want the number to match. I don't want to say match, because nothing is going to be completely accurate until you look at the profit and loss, until you actually look at the bank statements. Nothing, you won't know. So you want it to match or get a ballpark number of what this is. This is how they explained it to me, and this is how I was showed. Being an acquisition manager, you literally, you right there with people that are analyzing deals. My partner Flip, he analyzed deals completely different than what you see right here. He does it by hand, and then he uses the actual calculator. So like I said, this information, you really gotta bust it down. You gotta make sure, excuse my language, but you gotta make sure you're using the correct formula and the numbers are correct. You want it to be correct. So we're going to fill this out. Once I get everything together, I'm gonna go ahead and do the math for you guys. Because I don't want this video to be super long, but I'm gonna just show you guys what we're going to be looking at when doing the math on this. So we're going to be looking at the current rent and annual taxes. I wish I knew if these properties, if all of them are free and clear. If they're not, what is the mortgage like? It's a lot of information we need to know. There's a lot of information. This is just a ballpark. I'm telling you, when it comes down to analyzing, and this is just one property, when it comes down to analyzing properties, this process takes a long time. Like I stated earlier, my mentor, he has three different processes. This is only the first step. We ain't got to the second step yet. We ain't got to the third step. They gave us a copy of what they put on that website. Remember what I told y'all? A lot of people, I don't want to say just agents, but a lot of people, buyers, sellers, both parties, they fluff their numbers. When buyers are selling properties, a lot of their numbers are fluffed. Let me let you in on a secret. When buyers put the cash down, their numbers are fluffed. What do I mean by that? Say they only got $50,000. The trick that I keep telling y'all about. Say they only got $50,000. You go find other people that actually have that liquidity or that money and use their money in whatever you guys negotiate, how much you need to put in, or how much how much percent you want of this deal. There's several different ways to carve this cat. Sorry, there's several different ways to chop this up. Depending on the way you go, that's going to dictate your presence. So as you can see right here, and this is just me showing you, these numbers I gotta put them in. I want to say that because I don't want you to look at this and be like, those don't make no. I ain't put it in yet. I ain't put it in. But as you can see, as an acquisition fee, this is how much we would get for wholesaling this property and putting it together. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So when you looking at stuff like this, you want to take your time. You want to get it together because you're like I said, you touching millions. You touching M's. If you do what I do, I surround myself around people that actually got the team put together. They got a transaction coordinator. They networked with several different people. They have a brand. They're Googleable. They can get you immediate stuff instantly. Hey, I need a lawyer for this. There you go. Even though I got legal shit, I'm just giving you an explanation. When you're around people that allow you to use their services, as long as you feeding them deals, you good. And that's one of the perks I have partnering with other people and leveraging their acquisition system and really just feeding the beast as many leads as possible. The issue with this is it takes time. This ain't no overnight play. And especially if you're serious about it, you're gonna educate yourself. You're gonna be around people that are doing it. You're gonna be around the they call them the 1%ers, but I call the people that understand the craft. They've mastered it. Now they're teaching it, and not just teaching it. They're implementing strategies to make sure other people learn it while they continue to feed the beast. That's how I look at it. But we're going to end this video because it's getting lengthy, and I just wanted to tell you guys how I came up with this. Well, how I came up with this. What did I do with tools? Also, another thing I would suggest is when you run the numbers, when you do this, when you do all this, another thing I would suggest, if you feel comfortable, run it by somebody that you have a mentor with. Run it by them. Hey, I just structured this, blah 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 blah. What you think about the numbers? Also, if you're in Discord groups, post the thing in there without the address. They'll tell you if it's wrong or right. They'll tell you what you need to tweak. Been there, done that. That's why I'm in this position, because I know how to do a lot of things. Networking is powerful. But I've been sitting here talking. Let's get to it. I want to get this stuff done to show you guys what I came up with. Was the numbers, how close was they, how far was they apart? You want to figure out what the numbers is. Like I said, don't worry about the price. You can get it done. Just focus on getting it. Boss.